Before the video begins, I would like to say that I don't have a kid, but since I'm in this newly relationship and we're already in our 30s, probably kids will be coming very shortly if things goes to plan or things like that. I don't want to think too much, but I think it's best to think about it, especially when you are relation. Well, I can't say relation, but when you think about it, it's good to think about. I'm not saying I'm 100% married to this girl, but relationship there's a journey. We're still in yeah, close to 3 months after 10 weeks, 10 days. So I like to talk about this topic. Now, that's a bit of that. I will have to say, I think in life, I can't say I think in life, the two hardest things, and they both tie in together. That is sustain a marriage and as well raising, child rearing as well. Those are the two things. They go hand to hand. Now, of course, you can say like, oh, now today's world, you know, this husband and wife plays a huge role on kids, or nowadays, or divorced parents. Okay. Now, let's just put this scenario in a marriage setting. All right. This is marriage planted having child. Where will you want your kids to be? Now, you have two outcomes, right? Now, let's just put in my shoes in this, right? We're both low socioeconomic, right? And I know we are both coming from a different culture, and I think Chinese are more for the sake of having a great education, to move on, to be a good citizen, to be functional adult, and engage in a functional career, high or middle income wages, or finish university, or perhaps upgrade from the low socioeconomic from the parents. That's what the hunter gathered, the industrial, the agriculture revolution is all about. Technological, everything nowadays. You don't need to worry, still live a simple life, whether renting or buying a house. It's not what it is as before. Before it's about survival. So let's talk about this. I think this is a very so now I'll give you this a bit of a bit about this. And now there's a next phase that I want to talk about. Would you want to take your kids to government or private school? Now, as the next generation and continuous of the next generation will still remain as a snowflake generation, there will be a high chances of child to be snowflakes in school, where private school was taught. Even there is numbers, but I'm saying high number will be government school. You've been babied, be nurtured by a teacher. You don't have punishment or you don't have competition, and it's all about feelings. And on top of that, you got the patriarchal, and as well, what is it? Gender studies as well. So it's a very different stage of child rearing than it was. Now, private school, depending on which private school or selective school that you're taking your kids to. Now, here's the question that I would like to ask is now a lot of jobs, we don't know which job sectors, I think it's still early phase, but we can know that automation and AI will be a big thing. You know, I clearly could see AI you know, has 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 entered in our daily lifestyle. Whether you like or not, I'll have to speak about it in the next video. But this video, let's talk about child raising. Is it worth raising the child as a hypergamy or high socioeconomic? Or is it just too much to bear because of the snowflake generation? And as well, what's around their peers are like that. Now, I'll give you this. The reason why I'm telling you this is because my sister goes to Mac Robertson, right, in Melbourne. That is one of the best, is always the top five, all right? It's always a top 5 or top 10, but it's a girls' school, high school, and all her peers are girls, and they're all into feminism. And I didn't get much deep details whether are they more patriarchal or more feminism. And these are the educated women, girls, right? So unless if you take your kids to religious school, regardless if it's going against your religion, or taking them to a religion school, whether it's Catholics or whether it's I don't know what other. But you can't understand what I'm saying because religion school doesn't promote sex education, gender neutral or patriarchal or anti-male. At the meantime, that I know. But once the same sex, because Australia just passed for same sex marriage 2 years ago, actually year and a bit now, because we just entered a new year. We're in February. Um, there's a lot of talks in the parliament where government wanting to include LGBT students in religious school, and they're fighting for religious school to accept them. Now, would it change the curriculum, the learning, and things like that? So, is it worth it? Because now we're in the time like saying, now I'm just studying aged care and working in aged care as a volunteer, right? And I ask myself, the best time you live through life is between, before you go to aged care or you can't move. So this is the best time you should enjoy now. Well, Chinese is most like I only speak for Chinese, but I can't speak for other cultures. People has been telling me a lot of Sri Lankans, the Jewish community, and also the strongly religious community are taking their kids to hypergamy schools. Think hypergamy or spend as
He
much
has
dollars
muscles.
to their kids.
He's lying on the other video. He has muscles.
Okay, and to deliver the best of the child. So you have that, or you
You
have
know
enter the
that I
phase.
can do the splits?
Yeah, okay, I get it. Another problem is nowadays
Oh.
where the work industry, well, depending on the gender that your child is, if it's a female into or if it's a girl gender in today's, don't get triggered if I say girls. Alright. If it's a girl or woman gendered in today's world, they most likely get a higher preference than boys. Like this guy, he has, he's fidgeting around high attention disorder, so he's very, very movie around. So in the school in the future, probably make him to take on meds and dumb them down, and it's sad. But now the workforce, especially the government workforce, favor hiring women over men in today's world. So obviously,
And
the
now
gender of
we're
the
going
child.
to the city.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, relax. Let me just make this video. All right. So I really, no, don't touch it. Come on. Let me just finish. Just watch your TV. Watch Lion King. Don't come on. Come on. I know you can't even hold yourself.
Lion King.
All right. So you have that. So you ask yourself in today's world. Now I know a lot of MGTOW and the red pill community is saying that they're giving up all childbearing. There's no point. Look at the society that we're heading to. It's very dysfunctional. It's very anti-male, very anti-family. It's promoting women to get divorced and grab everything from a man. In somewhat, it is true. I'm not saying all women are the same, but you know, um, but those who wanted to get a family or have a child, this is something that you need to look at in the future, because I don't think it's going to get any better. Because as I could see, what the Western civilization, especially in the Europe, Canada, and America, who has passed through. I can't say America or Canada. Canada, yeah, the countries who has passed through same-sex marriage a lot. Like the first tier, the second tier. Australia is still new at it. The human rights is banging on so hard, and childs are forced learning gender studies. Countries like Peru and I'm only speaking just for now on top of my head. Peru and what's the country? Hungary are banning gender studies because it doesn't benefit child in the long run. It's actually damaging more. There's no career advancement in there. Now, the reason why I'm saying, and I'm going even deeper in the workplace, and nowadays, guys are keeping their mouth shut. They don't want to talk too much. Where girls, they tend to blabber on a lot more than before. So when they blabber on too much, and if a guy say one word wrong, he could have lost his job. So, or if he accidentally touched somewhere inappropriate, that could go against them. So that is something that people should look at. What is better? Should you live a life, and it all depends on the kid, if he's smart or if he's intelligent or not. And also that gets in the way. And it's just, would you want your kids to be snowflakes? Yeah, for me, I don't want it. But how do you stop it? It's hard. His peers and the teachers, the educator is all into it. It's all tying together. So there's no solution towards this.